live. Welcome to another live stream here on the Pack Photos YouTube channel. Tonight, we are going to talk about the almost 25th anniversary of arguably the greatest season ever of Power Rangers in Space.
Let's
And
go.
tonight, I have the honor of being joined by the one and only Kuya Nightwing himself, Pancheezey.
Me.
Thanks for joining us, Pancho, tonight.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
Fine. Well, good to have you on here. First, before we get started with Power Rangers in Space, did you watch Turbo beforehand, like the previous season?
Yes. So like I was the target demographic when this thing was airing. So I was watching from Mighty Morphin up until like I was watching it in order as it was coming out on like Saturdays or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So I was watching all the way up until In Space, which is this one. I think that's why I have such a big bias towards it. But yeah, I've seen this guy. But what's up, Tim Smith?
Tim Smith in the mix, baby.
So did you did you like Turbo?
Turbo was okay. I like Turbo because I really like Car Ranger and I love the Zord for Turbo and I like the suits too. But like
The headlights.
yeah, I love them. Like I don't know what it is. I have a lot of nostalgia towards Turbo. I know objectively that it's bad. Like the movie is okay though. I would say the movie is actually maybe, dare I say, structurally better than the Mighty Morphin movie.
Whoa.
But it's not as good, like overall.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember because I know, man, we were talking about the first movie the other day and like how like the suits were completely redesigned in the first movie.
Yeah.
But Turbo was kind of like the introduction to Turbo from Zeo. I think the thing that irked me about Turbo was just the way they completely dismissed Zero, and I really like Zeo.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in that aspect, it stinks.
and the way they did Rocky dirty, like he just got kicked out of the ring.
I know. It's the worst, dude.
Yeah. Reason why I ask is because like I watched some of it and then I stopped, and then when they had the new cast with TJ and all of them, I started watching again, and it led me all the way to the ending where they saw Justin watch the Rangers go launch in space from afar.
I loved it.
They just sneak into, I think it's not NASA, it's like Nasada or something like that.
It is Nasada, yes.
Tim says, I do badly want to get back into Power Rangers. Only thing that didn't really carry over from childhood for me. Oh,
hey,
well, hopefully this podcast will.
Hopefully.
So now we get to In Space, and I want to say, where were you when the Rangers explored space?
I was in the 3rd grade, maybe. And I think I was living in Louisiana. Alexandria, Louisiana is where I was living. And I don't know. I was in front of my TV watching it every week. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I said, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was in 3rd grade also. So I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I think we're the same age. Are we the same age?
34.
Have to be. We're both in 3rd grade.
I'm 34. Wait, how?
What the hell? Oh, man. I'm 30. Am I 34? No, I'm 33. I don't know.
Okay, I'm old.
Yeah, whatever. After 32, you just forget, right?
Yeah. One of the best ATBA photographers I've seen. Cap Lives says, "Let's rock it." Great representing the second best Power Rangers season.
Cap Lives is a Disney era child.
So. Oh, the JetX crowd.
JetX crowd, yeah, for real. He's got good opinions though. Let's not get it twisted though.
Yeah, no, Cap. Which one do you think is the best season? I'm curious, but. Yeah, so when they got into space, I don't know if you noticed it, man. Like when they filmed it, when they're in the actual ship, the Astro Mega ship, didn't it look like it was at a faster frame rate than it was when they were on Earth?
Yes.
Like that's the first thing I noticed.
That is 100% the first thing, because like it is filmed at a higher frame rate in the ship than when they're like anywhere else. Like, of course, it's like it's different from it's obvious like when they switch like Japanese footage, and that's a whole different frame rate, and it's different cameras and stuff like that. But like it's freakishly high. It's like this is so dumb. It's the strangest, most specific reference. It's like on Chopped when they
Yeah.
switch to the overhead cameras and they're like at a crazy high frame rate. And my wife and I are always like, these cameras have to be, they had to have come with the studio space. And like they're just like, all right, well, we'll switch to them every now and then, I guess.
Dude, yeah, because I remember being in 3rd grade trying to explain to my friends because by the time I was in 3rd grade, Power Rangers wasn't cool to some of my friends.
True.
So I was like, "Yo, you gotta watch the new Power Rangers." Like, "Why?" It's like, "It just looks different." Like, it looks like what it looks like on Full House with the front with the screen, and they're like,
It
"What are you
looks like a
talking
soap
about?"
opera.
Yeah. But I like when they explore the ship. First off, they didn't have any astronaut gear, they just flew into
They
space.
sure did not.
And when they find the Astro Mega ship, I like how they were like, it's like, "Oh my god, this microwave, you type in whatever you want, it just cooks it for you."
Yeah, that's the thing they focus on.
Yeah.
It isn't crazy how they were just flying in a ship and it perfectly docks into this bigger ship, and then it just happens to be the head of the Megazord. It's
Yeah, and
like
then Alpha's, like, kirking out on, like, coke. It's just like
it's just,
but
"Let's check out this microwave."
then when they start to actually, like, move into the series a little bit in the beginning, you also find out Andros is at the, all villains meetup, I guess.
Yeah, that was sick. That was like I think that to me was, like, super cool because everything about Power Rangers is, like, it's, like, so, like, alien, like, Zordon's from a different planet, their powers
Mhm.
come from a different planet, Rita and Zed are from different planets, but then, like, everything is always happening on Earth. But then, like, that scene was super sick to me. Even when I was a kid, I was like, oh, dang, like, hall full of people that, like, I don't even know." And, like, these, like, it made it very, like, grandiose and big. It was a really great way to open the season.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it you probably have heard this a lot, like, ad nauseum, but it's always mentioned that this was supposed to be the last season, so I feel like
Oh,
the writers had carte blanche to just go all out, which is why we had so many crossovers, but before
yes.
we before we go on that crossover, just wanna say real quick, hey, what's up, B. Rivera?
You're very in
Uh,
the mix.
RPM, I've never watched RPM, maybe I should.
I have
Uh,
not seen RPM either. I've
Andrew
seen parts of the Sentai, but not RPM.
not RPM. Andrews, you've been chopped. A shout out to Twang Around. He's got it 335. The morphing
That's it.
sequence.
Morpher Code.
I wanted that microwave. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Espionage Andros was so cool. Really showed that this would be different. Yeah, and that was another thing. Like it had Rita, Zed. They even had their like goons, like the Tangle
The co
Warriors were there. The
Yeah,
Quantrons.
Tenga
Yeah.
Warriors it was cool. The Tenga Warriors were there. I missed the putties, but whatever.
And then when you see Dark Spectre, just gonna go share this real quick. I have a very pixelated version
I
right
love it.
here of
It's gonna feel like this is the internet in 1996. Yes!
there you see wasn't he in the Turbo movie? Like I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember,
he
and
was.
they
The
just
suit is reused from Turbo.
they just
Dude,
retconned it for
on
this.
their last legs. Like you said, like, supposed to be the last season, so they just, like, threw everything into it. I guess it literally felt like in the writers' room, they're like, "Alright, this might be it. I guess we should try."
Yeah.
Uh, like and, they did it, man. I will say, I don't know if you were planning on bringing this up later,
Hmm.
but the best part about In Space is, like, you have to watch it in order, aside from, like, a couple of episodes, like, it's serialized now, which
Yeah.
is, like, the best thing about this show, like, that's, like, exactly what it needed. I understand, like, the formula of just, like, watching just, like, having no real structure, so you can just come in at any time and do whatever,
Mhm.
but, like, um In Space really, like, started the trend of still hanging on to, like, the monster of the week format, but still having an overarching story, which is what it definitely needed.
Yeah, because prior to that, like all the other seasons before was just here is the monster of the week. It's gonna grow, bring out the Zords, and then there you go.
Yeah,
And then repeat.
exactly. And, like, because it was serialized, like, a lot of, like, small character arcs happened throughout the season as well, and you were able to follow that. Like, like Ashley and Andros's like relationship would just like, it'd pick up every now and then every couple of episodes.
Yeah.
And then but like it was nice to see it progress over the season, and there would be like conflicts in one episode between two crew members, and it would kind of carry over in the next episode versus where like I can't remember, maybe it was Turbo, but like the team gets introduced in Turbo, and then in that episode they know nothing about each other. They're like brand new, and then the next episode they're like best friends.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
when did this happen?
when they passed the torch on from like the original Turbo Rangers to
Yeah.
the yeah. You know what really geeked me out about Turbo is when Justin Morph he grew for some reason.
Yeah, right. I feel like, what's so crazy? So when I lived in Philippines, like my older cousins would have like bootleg VHSs of like everything. That's how I was introduced to like Dragon Ball and like especially Sentai. So when Power Rangers was happening and they introduced White Ranger Tommy, I would tell my friends in like grade school, and I was like, yo, check it out. In Japan, this is a child. And then he grows into like an adult man, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're crazy, you're just making stuff up. So like when like that stuff happened with him and Turbo, I was like, oh, this is a Tuesday, brother. Like this
It's
is
normal. Yeah, it's not.
this is normal.
Um, before I go, just real quick, hope you don't mind me stopping for a sec. He said HasLab Dark Spectre.
Oh my god, the fastest fail in the history of.
You think so?
There's
Yeah, man.
no way. Even I wouldn't. You know what? Maybe yeah, I'd back it. But
if it was as priced like the Megazords, would you back it?
Oh, if it was priced like the Zap Megazords, oh, there's no question. But for like a HasLab, that thing's got to be $350 minimum.
It comes with both versions, Turbo and In Space. That's what they'll sell you on. It's a 2-for-1.
Oh no! Absolutely not.
Thank you, Jiggity J said sub just to drop a message. What's up to my Pinoy boys?
Hell yeah, Jiggity J in the mix.
29 says RPM was the last Disney era season, right? That season, very different vibe too. Oh, maybe I should check it out. RPM was an ABC Kids exclusive, if I remember correctly. Wow. RPM was supposed to be the last season until Saban. Oh, that he brought it back in 2010. I can't wait for the Psycho Rangers. Not quite there yet, but
yeah, you brought up Dark Spectre. Let's talk about him. What do you want to say?
I just remember watching it and just being like, yo, wasn't he in Turbo? Because the first thing, because I was in and out with Turbo, and I just remember watching this, I was like, is this the same dude that was in Turbo? And then they were all like gathering around listening to him. And then they had Zordon on a mountain with like, I don't remember if there was something underneath him, like red or lava or something.
Yeah,
like
it was weird lava that was like filling him up, that mysteriously disappeared at the very end of the season. Like, I guess we're done with the lava bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and they also didn't even talk about his successor in Turbo. Was it Demetria?
Yes, I don't know. I'm very cloudy on Turbo.
No, gosh. Cyborg So Collectible says just bought the Zeo Pink Ranger 2-pack. It's a good 2-pack. I think GameStop put it on sale.
Super cheap right now. Again, it's like $20 at GameStop right now.
All right. There's another one I want to talk about, but because I'm using this slideshow, I don't want to have to. Here, let's talk about, because it's still early in the season. I think that's enough of that Dark Spectre. But
I know. I think I know what you're about to say.
Oh, tell me. Let's see if we.
Are we talking Turtles?
Yes, we are.
Yes, let's go. Let me tell. So I have something to reveal.
Okay.
When we were talking before the show started. So let me ask you, when was the last time you saw this show? When was the last time you remember watching Power Rangers in Space?
Like even as a rerun?
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago when the Power Rangers movie came out in 2017. Like I was feeling a nostalgia trip. Yeah.
Okay. So I watched the entire show when I was a child, and that was it.
Really?
Until 3 days ago when I watched the entire series all over again. I finished watching this series minutes before I joined you backstage. I finished Countdown to Destruction Part 2, and then I joined this room. So it is fresh, baby.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So the reason I bring that up is because I was rewatching it And then I remember I was like, it was episode like 3 or 4, and then the turtles show
Yeah.
up, and I'm like, "Is it this early? What is going on?"
the the best part about this episode, or I think it's 2 episodes, where it has nothing to do in sequential with like the season. It's
No,
just a one-off.
absolutely not.
Because I think Saban owned Turtles for this specific property, the next mutation. And he's just
Probably.
like,
They at the very least, they both appeared on Fox.
yeah, and I think they were trying to get Ninja Turtles kickstarted on Fox. It was like, all right, let's have them cross over the Power Rangers, which was surreal. Look at
It was
Carlos
unbelievable.
on the
I
side.
remember Black Ranger's pose, like, Carlos's pose always gets me
Yeah.
in this photo. It's the funniest pose ever.
Let's
Um
rock it.
I remember, like, there was buzz about this at school. Like, I just remember they would show the previews for, like, the week before or whatever, and everybody's like, "Yo, you see that the Ninja Turtles are on Power Rangers?" And, like, I'm like, "This is a fever dream, dude." There's no way. The craziest thing about this episode is, like, Astronema, like, teleports to New York and meets up with the turtles in, like, in some back alley,
Yeah.
and, like, she's like, "You guys are gonna go and, like, fight the Power Rangers," and they're all like, "What? The Power Rangers are real? Like, how do you not like, how do they not know?" And then, like, then it cuts to, like, the Rangers, and they start talking about the turtles, and they're like, "What? The Ninja Turtles are real? Bro,
Yeah.
you live in not only do you live on the same planet, you're in the same country. Like, how do you not know that, like, this is real? How do you not know of each other? It's unbelievable."
Right. You think you would know overgrown turtles fighting in New York City, or people dressed in spandex fighting
Yeah.
overgrown monsters in Angel
No,
Grove?
it's the power it's specifically the Power Rangers. For the Ninja Turtles, I kinda get it because, like, they hide all the time. They live in the sewers. But, like, Angel Grove is destroyed every week, dude. That's gotta make, like, some sort of national news or something. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
if it's on the West Coast. Like, you're gonna hear about it in New York or something, right? It's unbelievable.
It did you like this version of the Ninja Turtles?
Oh, no.
Neither did I, because I hate how they strayed away from the design in terms of their eye straps. Like, Mikey's was like
That's what
it
does
looked
it
like
for you, huh? It's like a whole head. That's a
yeah,
s
like Michelangelo's mask looks like what Falcons looks like when when Falcons cap, like what it looks like that. That's what it looks like.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Raphael's the only
Mikey's
one that
headband
stays
is
true.
like it's a ski mask without the top.
Yeah. The only one that had one was, I think, was it Serena?
Yeah. That was another thing,
Yeah.
like, they're not, like, actually brothers in this iteration either, which is weird. Like, and
I might
I
have to
can't
rewatch
help
it.
but think that the only reason they're not brothers is so one of them can date Serena.
Yeah, that's what
It's like the only it's like there's no reason for them not to be brothers.
Not to veer off into Turtles, did you have these figures? Because I had 2 of them growing up.
No, I did not. I was very lucky to get, like, figures and stuff when I was little. So, like, that was, like, I don't know. Like, I felt like when I was trying to choose what figures I wanted, it was like I was on, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like, it was the pressure was on. Like, I couldn't, like, mess it up. Otherwise, I was just, like, stuck with, like, a terrible toy for, like, I don't know, for, like, the whole year. So, it was crazy. "You had these? You madman. Why?"
It was my Turtles, I guess, or something of Turtles.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, I grew up on the animated series too, but I hadn't seen Turtles in, like, 5 years. I was like, "Alright, well, here, I have something." And
Okay,
they had,
okay.
like, some the box art looked so trippy, dude. It looked like a Fruitopia, like, bottle, like, it was insane. It had the yin yang in there, it was stupid.
Oh my god.
But when people talk about epic crossovers, this had to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, as bad as it is, it's still insane. Like, the spectacle of it all is still crazy.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind me catching up a few of these chats.
I don't
Cap
mind at all.
says, Recommend RPM. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world. No, I might have to check that out. Are there any crossovers with that one? In Space May got me back into watching Power Rangers a couple years ago. That's cool. Nightmare Nemo. He said the greatest. You ever said, wow. Turtle Clout, Jeff.
There it is.
I had forgotten the turtles showed up so soon. Kind of glad I missed that on Poncho's rewatch.
Yeah, I was watching it on Discord.
Were you really?
Yeah, and then Cap joined like pretty late. He stayed for like 3 hours watching the show.
Oh shit! I never knew how good SPD was. I stopped watching P around 2000. Just got back into it this year. Oh wow!
SPD rules.
Cyborg said it's solid. I couldn't believe the turtles are just a myth. The fight at night.
Fight at night. You know what's wild? Like they're a myth, but like I think Carlos says like, but they're just from comic books. Like so there's a comic book out of them, but like they're still real. I don't know. Anyway,
you never saw any sightings of this damn thing? This would be true, and I think this would be an awesome parody for someone to do. Just every photo, it's just every headline would be Angel Grove back to rebuilding, city begins anew again.
Someone's got to shoot that.
SPD top 5. Dino Thunder's up there. Was that the one where Tommy came back?
Yeah, absolutely. He's part of the core crew, I think, in that one.
Huh. Her name is Venus. Oh, my bad, Venus. Williams. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to. And PR, In Space, SPD, and Dino Thunder. Wow.
It better not be in order.
The turtles are so unlikable in this crossover. Yeah, I guess so. They're unlikable in their own show too, man. All right. So now that we have that crossover out of the way, I'm kind of jumping around here. I'm sorry, dude.
It's fine.
It's time we get to the best crossover. Well, not crossover, but I think this one was like, for me, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're giving us this again. Boom.
Hell yeah,
the man
dude.
himself.
I knew you were gonna.
Adam, yo, look at that destroyed Morpher and look at the JetX logo. This is a replay.
So the JetX logo, remnants of the past, right?
The Disney era, dude. This like geeked me out. I was like, oh shit, they're bringing back old Rangers. They never do that before, you know?
Yeah, this was cool, and it was like, go ahead.
Oh
no, Jinx. I was gonna say like, it was like. It wasn't just like a cop-out crossover either. Like he had a purpose to come back. Not only did he have a purpose, but he was like perfectly paired with Carlos because in his own seasons, he dealt with like self-confidence and all that stuff as well. So like, you know, it made like total sense for him to come back and be the one to train Carlos, you know, and be like the vet ranger to help him out. It's super sick.
It really was. And like
nothing is cooler than him like, you know, going like balls to the wall with that destroyed Morpher. Just going like, whatever, this might kill me, I guess. I don't know, but let's morph, whatever.
I love how he still carries it in his backpack. I remember he goes, Alpha, you think this thing still works? And they must have done like a census poll on like what people thought of Alpha's voice in Turbo, because they changed it drastically in Space. It was like,
oh yeah.
In Turbo, he had like kind of like a young rebel voice. Is like, yo, we
no,
like Andrew Dice Clay or something like that. And then in Space, he became like a young kid again.
Yeah, then it's a plot point too, where they're like, "Oh, your voice chip is malfunctioned. I guess well, might as well find you a new one. Hey, this one sounds a little different. I hope that's okay."
Since you just rewatched this, I'm trying to remember when he had the morphing sequence. Did they just use the old clip right when he had short hair?
They sure as hell did. They cut every corner they possibly could. It's too much to get this guy behind another green screen, I guess.
Alpha Dice JetX for life. Carlos is such a punk that my man Adam had to risk his life. Yo, it's true because he's right. Because wasn't it? He was like he morphs and then like they use this awesome like CGI technology for the suit to disappear and reappear, and he's just like, oh, it's hurting me. But he kicks the shit out of the Quantrons, dude.
He really does. You know what's crazy? Like the best part of this episode, obviously, is this. But I think like a underrated part of this episode is when he first shows up and he throws hands with that monster
Yeah.
unmorphed, and he whoops his ass. It's unreal.
Man, that showed how OP those OG ranges were, man. Because I think
Yeah,
I think I saw clips. He reappears later on in other seasons.
he does. He reappears again. Jiggity J and Cap Lives will let me know, but he reappears again, and he like throws hands, and apparently his morpher is just fine.
Oh yeah, it's not destroyed anymore.
Yeah, he's like cool, but that was like that other reappearance in like the Disney era show was like was very like satisfying because like it's cool to like it was cool to see him morph, but like he's like severely underpowered the entire time and he's kind of like limping along. Operation
Mhm.
Overdrive is when he shows back up, but in Operation Overdrive he shows
Oh.
up and like he throws hands, dude, and he's just morphed the entire time. He's just like an old vet, just like just just like showing everybody how it's done. It's super cool.
Well, it's also surreal to see look at this old ass image here. Let's zoom in.
I love it.
Yeah, seeing this side by side was wild. And I remember Strawn was like, "What? Two Black Rangers?"
It's so cool. Another
I
thing is
thought,
like, oh, go ahead.
no, no, good.
I was gonna say another thing is like his Zeo power should still be around. Why
Yeah,
didn't
why
he
didn't he
just do
have the
that?
Zeo? They weren't destroyed.
It's
Oh,
obviously for the brand recognition. Like,
that okay. So that was the thing in Turbo. Now, sorry, I'm just going back to Turbo. When Kat tried to morph in Turbo, like with her Zeo, as soon as she hits water, it's gone. I'm like, when did that happen?
she like a forest creature. Have you seen those memes of like that Mexican puppet that's like going around where it like dances on water? It's such a niche thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's,
But, all right, I'm
uh,
going too far.
no, no,
Too
you're
far.
good. They wouldn't spend the big bucks till Lost. Oh man, Lost Galaxy was kind of a betrayal, man, because they dubbed
Oof.
this season like it was it. Give Adam a master morpher.
Hell yeah, dude. If anybody else deserves it, it's Adam.
They shake
And
hands
they
best.
shake hands.
Zeo powers are too strong; they'd literally get too lost in the sauce.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What did I have after this one? Okay,
There's
let's talk about the
suspects.
villains, baby.
Let's
Let's
go.
talk about Dark Spectre.
Dark Spectre.
No, no, that's Darkon. No, Darkana, right?
Arconda, yeah. Shout
Sorry.
out to Cap Lives. He hates this guy.
Why?
I don't know. Like, please explain in chat. It's so fun. When we were rewatching it, every time he would show up, he goes, I fucking hate this man. He's like, who is this guy? I think he just hates like in like the aspect of the character. Like he's like it's a good character because he hates him so much.
Okay. Oh, that's what we didn't talk about yet. Like, so the twist, the Star Wars twist, where Corone Astronema is Andros' sister, and they keep replaying that clip when they're playing in the grass, and
Yeah.
like some perv cam comes over and just like, oh no, Corone.
The clip of like her screaming is always so funny
Yeah.
because it's very like child actory. Like, hey, can you just scream for like 1 sec? It's like so poorly acted, but they continue to show it like every 3 or 4 episodes. It's unreal.
And isn't it him that was like the one that kidnapped her?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, he's the guy that kidnapped her.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, and then because she was having her own arc with Zane and trying to find good, and like
Mhm.
trying to be back to Andrew's sister. And then he said, Darkana, boo, respect for my man Ecliptor. It's funny you should say that. He is actually next, Ecliptor. He
Yeah,
said, Poncho, why didn't you get some screenshots that have my man pics? Hey, bro. if you can find HD pics,
if you can find, they're out, brother.
what are you talking about?
But it's like the Amazon has the rights to this show, so like you can buy it on Amazon.
Man, I ain't buying this season.
I didn't buy it either. I torrented it.
Whoa, let's not say that. Give us your IP address again, dude. Yeah, but what's funny was this was all available on Netflix until I think,
Yes.
yeah, Hasbro got the rights, and then it was all gone. I was like, "Fuck." They're
Yeah.
like, they're gonna upload it to, uh, YouTube, but I don't think they uploaded all the seasons yet.
No, they sure did not,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And plus that's also the charm, Kev, having this from 1998. We're actually doing this live stream right now thanks to AOL 3.0.
Yeah, you finally got those free hours in the mail, huh?
Bro, I got the floppy disk and, it's working great. Did you get this 2-pack, man? I think this is one I missed, but I keep seeing the red one at GameStop for clearance.
Yeah. I bought the red one
Oh
last
my
night,
god.
um, because it was on clearance.
For 11 bucks.
But yeah, I got this 2-pack immediately.
I'm holding off it'll go on sale because, like, I want to get it just for Ecliptor because I already have the Astronomer one with the Psycho Silver.
Okay, I can see that.
But yeah, he said Darkonda is a dope character. I just don't like his consistently bodies Ecliptor. Well, I don't know if I have the. Sorry. Let me tell my friends on AIM. My way message is up, dude. Just be careful.
I was just about to say, do you have a sick profile on AIM?
Okay. And then they merged in.
This
Yeah.
unholy matrimony.
They DNA digivolved into
Right?
Darklyptor. This
Yeah,
was wild to me, man.
yeah, no build up. It was just like, let me hug you from behind. Psych. And then
Wasn't it like Ecliptor didn't even want this? He was just
no, like every
just
single time they merge, it's against his will. Strange allegory. Uh,
That's very dark.
it is. It is. Um, it was weird. I don't know. But I will say that like I loved their dynamic in the show. Like where Ecliptor, like, first of all, Ecliptor rules. Like there's no question about it. But I loved how like for the first time, um, the villains were like, they were more than just like, I'm just evil, LOL. Like
Yeah.
they were more like three-dimensional. Like Ecliptor like really cared for um I'm blanking on her name. Astronomer. Like he truly cared for her. And like he would help the Red Ranger sometimes. Like if Darkonda was like messing with him because like he knew that that was her brother. And so it was like really cool. And like the dichotomy between Ecliptor and Darkonda, because like Ecliptor knew the history behind Darkonda like uh kidnapping her and whatever, and he's like always like kind of torn between like, yes, you're the person who like delivered this child onto me who I care for so much, but like at the same time, like you don't really care about her at all.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna like
Just using her as a
go,
means for destruction.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I just really liked how like three-dimensional these characters were. Like it's a lot of like I noticed while rewatching it, there's a lot of stuff that you have to read between the lines for because at the end of the day, it's still a show for children. So
Yeah.
like they won't really like spell a lot of this stuff out, but like if you go digging, like these characters are pretty deep. It's pretty cool.
Would you classify Ecliptor as a villain then? Or like he's kind of that shade of gray, right? Where you don't really have that.
I think I would say Ecliptor for sure is a villain. I will say that. Like he's evil for sure, but
Wait,
like
later
he
on when he gets like rebooted or
yeah,
prior
well,
to
like
that?
I think he's like he's evil all the time, but like he just cares for he's evil, but he cares about Astronomer more than being evil, I guess. So like when those two paths like intersect, then he will always choose Astronomer over that, and then that might result in him doing some good. Because like there's a part where he's talking to her, like him and Astronomer are talking. I guess when Astronomer like realizes that she's Corone, and like he kind of knows or something, and he's basically telling her, he's all like, hey, check it out, like I'm evil, like I was like built this way. Also, never like brought up again, this man was built. Like he wasn't born, he was built. And like that's like the first and last time they ever bring it up. But like he's telling her, he's like, listen, I'm evil, I was built this way, I'm programmed this way to be evil, but like you are human, you can make a choice and be whatever you want to be. I hope you're evil because, that's me, and then we'll vibe together, I guess. But, you can do whatever you want, I guess.
All right, I have to rewatch. Does he not in that but the general like message he does portray that like, hey, I would
Yeah.
like for you to be evil, but if you're not, it's cool.
Yeah, basically. So, like I was saying, there's a lot of like cool layers to this show that they were able to like hide behind the guise of like some show for kids.
Yeah. Well, they were probably just like, fuck it, no one's watching anymore. Let's just do what we want to do.
Exactly. No one's watching. That's it.
All right, sorry, Cap. He said burning my soul just by showing this image.
Cool design. Let's not get
It
it
is.
twisted.
Did you guys read the comic with Ecliptor and Corone? No, I didn't know
I
there was
didn't either, but I hear it's really good.
Okay, so hopefully this one is a little bit. Hopefully, Kev, you'll accept this one. This is a little bit of a high res.
Oh my god, what is this? This is a Party City like
Whoa,
advertisement.
It's like they're using a higher frame rate.
No.
Let's talk about the Psycho Rangers. This thing lasted so many weeks. I remember growing like when I was a kid, like every week was Psycho Ranger week. It's like, who's gonna get killed off now?
I loved it.
My favorite episode was that's another thing I want to talk about, man. I do kind of feel bad for Selwyn Ward, TJ, because like I get like he was a Blue Ranger. I feel like he was kind of relegated, like going from red to blue. You know what I mean? Because I thought he did a good job as a Red Ranger, but I get what they were trying to go for with Andros. But my favorite episodes involved him, where he was like, didn't he like suffer like a concussion or something like that, or he got hurt really bad?
Yeah, he gets absolutely bodied, and then he wakes up and he watches the tape of him getting his ass beat. Incredible.
Yeah. And he's got like a chessboard where he's like, what if we both switch the Rangers? Psycho Rangers more like on-site Rangers.
Exactly.
This deviant art. No, it's Zanga. I posted it on my blog a little bit
ago. My MySpace background.
Yeah. But yeah, the series was awesome. The thing that I loved about the TJ storyline was just like that was the first time I saw one of them not wearing their jackets, like their spacesuit. I was like,
that's right. I didn't even notice
when he's got the chessboard of the Psycho Rangers. Like, is that dude wearing spandex?
I love it.
Yeah,
dude, he is ripped. He's yoked, dude. His abs like show through that loose spandex. I was like, what is going on, dude?
But that was a pretty interesting episode because wasn't everyone like the Blue Ranger? And I was like, how did they change their?
Yeah, that's what I'm. So like, what's I think that like maybe there's some sort of other synthesizer that works with like their suits or something, because like when Zane shows up as a fake silver Psycho Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, where'd he get that? He didn't make it? Like, I don't know. Like, where'd he get a silver Psycho Ranger suit?
That was such a freaking like tease, but I was also like, oh, okay, cool. Not another week of Psycho Rangers. But I was like, Silver Psycho? What the I was like, that's insane. And then he's like, no, guys, it's just me. I'm like, all right, cool. He said TJ is definitely the field leader, still a true genius on the battlefield. That's what some people say. Like I've heard people say, like even though in space he was the blue, he was still kind of like the leader of the team. But yeah,
I loved the Psycho Rangers. I remember rewatching this and constantly every episode, I'm like, when are we getting the Psycho Rangers? And then
really,
like, they don't show up until episode 30, dude. Let me tell you. We're about to butt heads. I think the Psycho Rangers is the best design in Power Rangers history. Like these are the best suits ever. But this, you gotta get this image out of here, dog. This image is doing us no favor. The worst thing I've ever seen is quite frankly disrespectful.
I got you.
No, don't zoom in. I love the Psycho Rangers, dude. Like, I love their suits. I love everything about them. It's just super sick. Do you know anything about like the Sentai version of them? They're called like the Nezi Rangers or whatever. They're supposed to be upgraded suits, but then they just they
were never meant to be evil then?
Well, so like they're supposed to be upgraded suits, but then they were like messed with, I think, by the villain. And that's why they know all the moves of the Rangers because it's programmed into the suits. So like it's super I don't know, it's cool. And like they have like this like really cool like they move like ninjas and stuff. I don't know. It's just like super sick.
Are you into like the Sentai? Also, like when you grew like later on, did you like watch both?
I would watch I started off like watching Sentai bootleg deep like VHSs with my cousins, not knowing anything. Like it was basically just like I was watching YouTube clips.
Okay.
Um so like I knew of that stuff when I started watching Power Rangers. So like but I was more into Power Rangers for like this like in the story sense of Power Rangers and stuff.
Mhm.
And then I fell off of Power Rangers. I want to say maybe Lost Galaxy or
Yeah, that's when
maybe
I fell off too. Like
or
I
maybe
couldn't. I didn't watch Lightspeed.
no, so I did watch Lightspeed and I oh never mind. No. So maybe it's not. I remember watching Lightspeed. I remember watching SPD. I remember watching Time Force and then Lost Galaxy. It's whatever the latest one of those is. But
Okay.
but then I would still watch like Sentai in some capacity, but like not really follow the show like I would follow Power Rangers.
You're a true
Um
fan, man. You watch. Okay, there. It's somebody else's photo. There. Is this your champion, guys?
Oh, come on. What are you doing? What is this marble background?
Sorry, my shiny toy. Whatever. There you go, guys. Is this your champion right here? This
Hold
suit.
on. I'm about to find you a real picture, brother. What are you doing?
There you go.
Why do you keep on zooming? Um,
Oh, sorry. He asked, "Was Bulk and Skull?" They were in the season, and the scientist too.
oh my
Aliens
god.
in space.
I like the Bulk and Skull stuff, like it's so funny because they must have gotten feedback like halfway throughout, like by episode 30 or something, because it was them all the time. In every single episode, there's about like 5 or 10 minutes, maybe not 10.
With the we need Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, there was like a mandated Bulk and Skull segment, and then all of a sudden, around like episode 20 or 30, they just stopped it. And like maybe they showed up once or twice, and then it was just dead air
Countdown to
until like the
Destruction.
season finale.
Yeah, I'm a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Dude, on the topic of them, do you remember who was the guy that was like their detective or their like police officer, like sergeant or something like that? Like their
That was in like another.
it was the prior seasons, but I it just randomly thought of this because I remember I was rewatching one of this at my friend's house years ago, and he goes, "Wait a minute, wasn't that the dude that used to be a cop and now he works at the juice bar?" He's like, "Yo, what happened? How did he downgrade?"
So funny.
Because that was when they turned Bulk and Skull into like monkeys, and they were like
Oh
around
my
his.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They were monkeys for a while.
All right, since you
Jeez.
just watched this, do you remember when they went to Angel Grove for the first time with Andros, and he's like touching the surfboard,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Where are you?" He's like, "What planet are you from?" He's like, "KO-35." It's like it's a,
um
it's
yeah, to
like
go off what Cap lives like said, like I love the Psycho Rangers so much because like they just they just beat their ass every single time. I noticed that with this season, it's so funny because like Jesus, why? Because like they'll especially during the Psycho Ranger episodes, like they'll just the in space Rangers will just get pieced up for like 15 minutes and then they'll go like then they'll have like that triumphant moment where they're all like, all right, cool, we're all together, let's do some teamwork or something, or let's test out this new weapon or whatever,
yeah,
and they still get their ass kicked. Like like if there is a pie chart of them versus like how many hits they get in versus the Psycho Rangers, it is a sliver of, of times where it's like it's not even it's not even something worth celebrating about. Like the Psycho Rangers, the reason that they were able to get the upper hand on them is because like there was just like tons of infighting in the like they just started fighting each other, and if they just never did that,
They would have
like the
won.
regular Rangers would be dead.
Oh, like I think there was a moment where like they couldn't like they recognized their voice and like they were turned into human form, right?
Yeah,
And weren't they fighting amongst each other? It was like the three of them left,
yeah,
and
they're always
Zane comes
fighting
out of nowhere dressed as a clown.
just as a clown
How
selling
convenient.
balloons. I watched that episode this morning.
Oh my god.
Maybe last night. Maybe last night. I don't know.
Yo, if remember the fake Jim Carrey whole still what? What a pinhead out.
Oh, there was we were watching, and there's an episode where I think Ashley's grandma comes to town, and she's like driving around in this cop car, and like it's during the Sentai footage, and they do like this pan where the car like zooms across. But if I freeze framed it at the perfect freeze frame, and it's definitely just some stunt guy dressed up as an old lady.
No
And
way.
it's
Can you please
so
find this and send this to me at some point?
yeah,
I wanna
absolutely.
Oh man.
It's unreal. I can't believe you don't like the Psycho Rangers. This is a revelation.
Me? You gotta imagine, man. I'm in 3rd grade and like every week is a Psycho Ranger. I'm like, come on, man, just move
Love
on.
it. I love it. You didn't think it was cool when they're all like, guess what? We're monsters now. And
Yeah, I liked it, but after a month of it every week, I was like, can we move on? No, the suits are nice, despite my Zanga art I posted. Whoever did that, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. Or your toy shot, sorry.
it's on Pinterest. I'm looking at the exact image right now.
Shout out to Ashley's grandma with the big hat, Bill.
Yo, Ash's grandma comes in with this hat. The hat is 60% Bill. Like or maybe like 70% brim. It's unreal. Good luck
I'm
finding
gonna
it.
Hey man, I'm gonna find this photo.
Maybe if you type in Power Rangers in space, Ashley's grandma, it'll pop up. I don't know.
Oh, I'm reconnecting through dial-up here. Oh shit! With the pink hat.
There it is. Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god!
the 4th image on Google Images.
Hold on,
Bro,
I'm on Ranger Wiki.
this hat is all brim. It's crazy.
Bro, that's wild.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Yankee hat, all brim.
Yo. Shout out to Michael Wisman. What's up, man?
Michael Wisman in the mix, baby.
We're definitely roasting the show at certain points.
Oh yeah, there's no question. We were picking this show apart, man.
She reminds me of Steve Buscemi. Was like, hey, what's up, kids?
Yeah, probably. I
Oh
can see
man.
that.
Do you remember there was another storyline in space? Sorry, I don't mean to move on from the Psycho. If you still want to talk, we can still have Psycho. Wait a minute. In Sentai, is there actually a Silver Psycho or no?
Yeah, there's Silver Psycho, but I can't remember if he's like. I think it's still the Silver Mega Ranger in disguise. I want to say.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh.
All brim. Exactly.
Do you remember they even brought back the Phantom Ranger for this season?
Yeah,
And
that was sick.
Cassie and him had like a love interest.
I know. She's like, why don't you call me? He's like, sorry, I'm on this planet, dog. I don't know what to tell you.
Do they in like because I don't read the comics? Do they ever expose like is he an actual person like or is he like a robot or what?
I think he's like pure morphing grid energy, if I remember correctly. I
Yeah, because all they kept. I remember in Turbo they kept trying to fight for like that fruit gusher in his chest, the power ruby. That's what it was. He came back, and then they also brought back Justin and the wild scene. You probably saw it because it was recently, where he's got the blue car in space. It's just hovering in space,
and he's flying with them, like next to their astrogliders.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, now did you collect any of the figures from back then?
From back then, I'm sure I had a couple of stray figures here and there.
Mhm.
I did mention this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. Um, my most vivid memory of the toys in this line was I got the Astro Mega Ship Zord for like a birthday or maybe Christmas or something. I can't remember. But like I loved that Zord so much. It's probably one of my favorite Zords of all time. Top 3 for sure. But
Oh yeah.
I kept the box under my bed, and I would always after I was done playing with it, I would always put it back in the box, and I have vivid memories of me, like, taking the box from under the bed and opening it up, and then playing with the toy, and then putting it back in the styrofoam, and then putting it back under my bed.
Oh yeah. Did you ever? Because I used to keep the boxes for my figures, and then like I never put it back, but I used to keep them, and I would just look at the back of it, like the Optimus Primal Transmetals 2, that big ass box. I just look, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that too with the boxes I kept. I can't remember if I kept a lot of boxes. Um, but I have that memory with video games. I would keep the boxes to my video games, like Game Boy games and stuff, because
Yeah.
they were all cardboard. My friends would be like, "Why don't you throw that away?" I'm like, "So I can read the back." What are you talking about?
And now those like things are worth hundreds. So look
Oh
who's
yeah,
laughing
for sure.
now. Wait a minute. One of Michael's said, "I have an in space question." In PR Turbo, TJ had a great line. Said, "We're here to toss your salad." Does he have any more top tier quotes? Oh man.
Incredible. Let me tell you the best quote in space. The best quote in Power Rangers in Space is from Astronema. It is the funniest thing. We must have rewinded this clip while we were watching the show, like maybe 4 or 5 times. It was so funny. She's hanging out in the desert. They have like these GameCube discs or whatever with data on them or some shit. I don't know what's on them. But like it's her and it was like the minion from Turbo, the guy with like the long head or whatever. So
What's
long
his
head.
name? It's like
I
it's
can't remember what his name is.
not
But,
E-Tree,
like,
right? I'm trying to remember what
it's
his name is.
what?
E-Tree?
Is it? It's
I don't.
something like that.
Did you ever
Let's
see the Japanese version of that? It looked way more menacing, and then they had to like dumb it down for the American audience.
yeah. You know what's crazy? Darkonda's Japanese, uh, it's the same suit, but, like, the illustrations for Darkonda so, like, Darkonda will pull out a scroll every once in a while
Yeah.
that has pictures of himself on the scroll, and they're representative to how many lives he has left, and
Really?
whenever he dies, he, like, crosses one of
Oh,
them.
that's right. Yeah.
But, like, the art on that scroll is incredible. Anyway, so she hands this guy these GameCube discs, and she goes, "Here, guard this with your pathetic life."
That's what
It's
Michael.
so funny. She says it like really quick. Guard this with your pathetic life. So funny. Elgar is his name.
Elgar, yeah. You said don't mention Optimus Prime. Why is that?
Oh my god. There's this huge meme around. So when I got an Optimus Primal figure, it was like that new one from Hasbro, and I was transforming it, and something about it was like really weird looking to me. It's because I didn't like arch his back inward. It was like flat. And then
Oh,
I
is this the gorilla thing?
Yeah, the gorilla thing, I'm sure you were there. And I was just like, "What do gorillas look like? There's no way a gorilla looks like this." And I just went on this I looked at pictures of gorillas for like 15 minutes. I don't know. It's part of like my lore now, I guess.
Like Kuya Nightwing.
Yeah, that's it.
um, I didn't have the Zord. I had one figure from this line because this was like right around the time I stopped collecting figures and I started playing like video games.
Mhm.
It was this one, and I remember when I got this figure.
Oh,
Sorry,
hell
Kev,
yeah.
if it looks like it's pixelated. Sorry, Kev. This is somebody's eBay listing. This was the cool thing about it, the light up feature on the helmet. I thought that was so cool back in the day.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool.
And then look at all the accessories he comes with. Like the cool thing I like about this was the gun that it came in two separate pieces, so
Oh,
you
that
can
is
like,
cool.
yeah. Uh, but this is one I had, and then I remember, like, we didn't touch on this yet, but do you remember the Battleizer?
That's it. I actually remember
Look at the
I have
joke.
fond memories of this the episode and the figure, because I did have the figure.
You did have this figure?
Yeah, and I actually remember, like, I have vivid memories of me watching this episode for the first time. I remember watching this episode for the first time and then immediately going out in my backyard and pretending I was in a battleizer and I had this huge Nerf gun that had, like, missile bullet. It was like a missile Nerf gun. And, like, I was playing with, like, a neighbor in the backyard, and I was like, "You see the battleizer episode? I have the battleizer, and this is my missile." And, like,
What did he say? He said, "No, I'm the Battleizer."
probably, "I wanna be the battleizer. No, I'm the battleizer." I just remember, like, even when I was a kid, I remember just being like, "Why is all the art for Power Rangers, like, they're all buff and muscular?" Like, all the art, everything, and I was like, "This is weird," because they definitely don't look like that in the show. Like,
Yeah,
not
like that
even
in
in
space one I just showed you, like, where he's yoked out.
yeah, and, like, this was the first time where they're like, "Check it out. Look how freaking huge this dude is."
Yeah, I remember watching this, I was like, "What the hell, man?" Shot up
Yeah.
steroids, dude.
Yeah, it's insane. He gets, like, yoked abs and stuff. It's so strange.
And, like, this purple thing, like, it, like, retracts down, right? So you can, like,
Yeah,
it's like his visor.
it's a visor. Okay. Like, this is clearly made to be a toy.
Yeah.
This is like this really looks like the same people who made, like, the Turbo Man suit from that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie were like, "Hey, to, like to to raise the funds to make this Turbo Man suit, we'll do we'll take on this gig from Power Rangers."
I went because I'm trying to remember what was the, cause of this, like, how did he end up using the suit?
Oh, it's because some little girl pressed
Oh,
the
so
button for him.
oh, is that what Cat was saying? He said, "Liz was birthed from a girl trying to kill androids." Really? Oh,
It's
okay, the
unreal.
CGI.
Yeah, like,
Um,
the CGI for him flying around was also very jank too.
there's a lot of the stuff with this thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff.
I used to beat the hell out of that. Michael says, "Nice cover story for Poncho, googling how to arch his back more while twerking like She-Hulk."
No, 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 no.
Was yoked. The helmet designs were usually different too.
Yeah, it
Really?
was all terrible. It's the worst.
Yeah. I remember, so this figure though, this was the last one. One of the reasons why this was the last figure I got from Power Rangers, because like I said, I was in third grade, and I remember they're like, "Hey, is it still cool to like Power Rangers?" He's like, "Yeah, as long as you're not." There was this other kid that made fun of. I felt bad, but he's like, "As long as you're not him." I was like, "All right, cool." Then I busted out the figure and I saw his face, and he's just looking at me like, I was like, well, looks like I'm not playing with Power Rangers anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. And before, like, we kind of, because we have to talk toys, right? You said, did they ever explain the reason for 335? No.
No, not in the American version.
I got to ask you, because you have the Lightning collection, right?
I do.
And again, this isn't my photo. Sorry. It's a nice toy photography shot, though. Did you ever collect, like, this was one of the last things Bandai did, right? Was the Legacy collection?
Yeah.
Did you like these? Because I used to see these at GameStop all the time. Oh, wow. He's got it right
I
there.
literally have it right here. This looks like the freaking Battleizer body. Like, the only reason I kept these is because I want to do like a Battleizer custom for it. Look at him compared, bro. This is literally don't talk to me
Whoa.
or my son ever again.
Now, which one do you prefer?
I mean, obviously the Lightning Collection. There's no,
What?
it's no. What are you talking? Are you insane? You
Hold it
like
silent.
this? First, you don't like the Psycho Rangers. Now this. What is
No,
going on?
hold it up, Poncho. Next to the Lightning collection, you know why?
No, this is not like a. What are you talking about,
It's
bro?
a lot of plastic.
Oh, there it is.
Did they move well at all or no? Because I was so close to picking up one of those, but
They actually do move quite well. I'm not gonna lie, but it does have like the like McFarlane wrists where it's like a ball joint and stuff.
Just
But
not as
like,
good.
yeah, not as good.
Have you seen this Shazam figure? Come on, man.
There it is. I I will say, like, these figures do, for what they are, they are not bad. They move quite well. The ab crunch isn't as deep as I'd like it, but uh for what they are, they're not bad. They're like cool little figs. I don't know.
See, look at the way they pose, man. Let's try it again.
All right.
You really
Yeah,
don't
here
like
it
this, do
is.
you?
There it is.
But okay, so when that was released at the time, were you like, "Oh, this is still okay," or no? You still thought they look ugly, or
Well, yeah, I
they
always
look
think they
ugly?
look ugly.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like how roided out they are. I don't like how roided out all the dudes are. I don't like how all the girls look like they're from like a 90s swimsuit calendar. Like it's like so off model
What do you? Oh,
for
like this
me.
Cassie one, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, dude. Like that's not what they look like.
Did you
So
did you complete this build a figure?
I did. That was the main reason that I was into these figures, was
Mm.
because I wanted 6-inch scale Zords, but they all
Okay,
move like absolute trash. The
better.
Zords are actually terrible.
Is it the same thing as like those ones that are coming out now with those like retro boxes? Do they move like
No,
that?
it's like different, but the same in terms of being terrible. Like they move about as badly as those, but in different ways, if that makes sense. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, that makes sense. All right, well, that crushed anything I hope for going in for this Bandai collection then.
No, 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 no. I
no,
mean, like, kind
no,
of
no,
check
no,
it out. I
no,
have
no.
that, and I have the Zeo Rangers also from that line, and then I have the 2017
The
set
movie
too.
ones.
Yeah,
I
but that
keep
one is
seeing
really bad
the pink.
because what'd you say?
I keep seeing those pink ones from the movie at Second and Charles. There's just like abundant amount of them there. I was thinking about picking one up.
Well, it's awful because like I don't it- they don't give the women rangers, either they don't give the male rangers or the female rangers bicep swivel. It's one of them. Like, so
Oh,
half of them have bicep swivel and half of them don't. So it's really weird.
oh, that sucks. So you don't really. Damn.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like but I did, when Toys R Us was still around here in the United States, I did like complete that because I wanted that. I just wanted a representation of that version of Power Rangers. I thought the movie was okay.
Yeah. Well, they teased Tommy at the end of it.
No, they sure did.
Yeah.
For for absolutely no reason.
Yeah. There was no payoff for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no way.
Um, let me get back here. What did he say?
Yeah.
He said, "How do they all go 180 turn into the tube and ship to glider? We go from the battleizer to rollerblades and time force. What?
Yeah, the
Really?
Battleizer and Time Force, they have rollerblades. It's really strange.
I I guess TJ would be accurate. Dude was buff. Wait, did
That's
they ever
true.
make a turbo version in that Legacy collection?
Oh, I don't know. No, they sure didn't. No,
What
they
is it
didn't.
with turbo? Well, I guess they're doing what's his name? The Blue Centurion now?
Yeah, they'll do anything but the Rangers.
What is it? Oh, that sucks. The males don't have bicep
Yeah, it's
swivels.
the males. That's what it was.
What the hell?
But like, it's still cool to have that set. If you can find that set pretty cheap, I'd say, and it comes with the
I
bath pieces. I'd say go for it, man.
I was almost gonna pick up the silver one because I couldn't find the damn Walgreens one. So I was like, all right, let me just get the Legacy one, and he's just
No.
gonna stand above everyone else.
I actually, because Legacy came out with the Psycho Rangers first, and I bought like multiples of the Psycho Rangers because what's crazy? They completed the Psycho Rangers, but they only released the remaining ones, I think, in like New Zealand or something crazy. So it was next to impossible to get them all. So I doubled up on, I think it was either Psycho Ranger Blue was like always peg warming at GameStop, and then it clearanced out to like $4. So I got a bunch of them, and I was just gonna repaint them in all the colors.
Did you end up doing
that
that?
just never happened.
All right. So you just have a bin back there with like blue Psycho Rangers?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I did with them. I never sell any of my stuff, so they're around here somewhere.
Oh wow. All right. What about so I'm gonna go back to the show. So I want to touch about a little bit, see about what you thought about the figures, but with Countdown to Destruction,
Yeah,
that was the biggest end game before Endgame.
true.
Pretty much everything happened. Then you had all the villains teaming up and stuff. But it made me think as a kid, I was like, why didn't they just do this before? Or why didn't they
Right?
just kill Zordon if he was going to heal everything?
I don't know. That's like it. A lot of it comes out of nowhere. Like Zordon just going like, "Hey, you should kill me," and then
Yeah.
I'll set off like an EMP of good energy, and like turn Lord Zed into a guy wearing a sweater vest.
Yeah. And then they start like dancing with Rita and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I thought it was cool that that Rita and Zed got human forms. Like
Mhm.
that's like sweet and nice. But then like every minion is just dead. They
They just
they get
disintegrate.
Thanos.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And like the whole like cog royal family, they get dusted too. It's like it's really like who they chose to keep. Like they kept Lord Zed and Rita, and then they kept like
Diva
the
Talks.
yeah, they kept Diva
She was
Talk.
just like, I'm beautiful.
I'm
She's-
beautiful, look at me. It was great. Um, and I think if I remember correctly, Rita comes back in Mystic Force.
Does she really?
I think so. She comes back as like the spirit mother or something. Caplitz will correct me or something.
Oh my God.
But she's like a force of good in like a later season of Rangers. So like that's really cool.
All right.
But yeah, it really was strange that suddenly out of nowhere, like, hey, you should kill me, and that'll fix everything. The thing they were trying to do, that the evil guys are trying to do, they're trying to kill me. So
Yeah.
why didn't I just let them kill me?
So yeah, I just remember watching it. I was just like, the whole setup was nice. It just felt anticlimactic. It's like, all right, he's destroyed and that's it. Like,
Yeah, it was really strange. Like it was like for as much praise as Countdown to Destruction gets, like a lot of it is really rushed.
well, did you also, because I like how they showed, like, we saw the Gold Ranger again, which was cool.
Yeah,
I think, was it Blue Centurion and Phantom fighting together, or was it Gold
yeah,
Ranger and Blue? It was one of those, but you
it
saw
was both.
them.
Yeah,
Oh, it was both. Okay.
and they
Yeah,
had the Alien Rangers were there
that's right.
too. But like it's so funny. It's like reverse fan service because they bring these guys back only for you to watch them get their ass beat.
Yeah, they
Like
don't.
there's no like hero moments or like cool payoffs or anything like that. It's so strange because like if it were Sentai, like there would be undoubtedly there would be moments like that. But like in this, it's just that hey, remember these guys? Like here's them like being awful.
It's kind of. It's like that's all the budget could afford, were these like three dudes that were like the sixth ranger or like the extra. But I do like. I mean, I do like at the end where they finally reveal who they are, like their identities. It's like, oh, you're cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But then they're all just like, everyone says, "I am a Power Ranger."
I thought that part was cool. I thought it was nice. It's
Mhm.
corny as hell for sure. Like let's not get it twisted. But
Yeah.
like, but the meaning behind it is like really cool. It was a cool like full circle for Bulk and Skull's like character arc, I would say. But then when like that homeless dude said he was the Red Ranger, I was like, all right, cool. I guess I'm gonna go with
I have to rewatch that this year.
this.
And there's like somebody that looks at like their shirt, right? And they're just like, I am the Black Ranger. Okay. Sorry, Catliv says, I hope LC doesn't. The 2007 movie suits are like that movie. Still trying to track down the prop power coins they made.
Oh yeah.
Huh. And just smash one. They undid Rita's normal life. She comes back in Mystic Force as the Mystic Mother. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In my head, canon, the Z wave only hits half the universe. Only way it makes sense for the future seasons. Okay, yeah. So like tying back with in space, like that's why it was hard for me to watch Lost Galaxy. It's like you just let up like And it was like immediate, dude. Like, what is it? They just finished the season. It's like, hey, we're gonna go in Lost Galaxy, and I'm like, what? It just ended.
Yeah. What evil is left?
I know. I thought that's. I was like, what's left? And they made it like, oh, we're in a Lost Galaxy, and there's evil here.
Sure.
And
Okay.
somehow the Astro Megaship is being used as a museum now. Like, aren't they still fighting evil?
That's so insane. I really liked, yeah, that was too much. It was like it's too familiar with the last season because
Yeah.
it's just too many questions.
Right. But the cool thing that brought them back was that was another crossover. And I'm sorry I don't have a photo from 1999, but the crossover with Lost Galaxy and In Space was nice because then you got to see Andros come back. And it's funny how Leo knows who he is. He's like, "You're Andros. You're the Red Ranger. I was there."
You were? Were
Yeah.
you?
And then and then one more In Space. Thanks for joining. Great shame got to bounce off. You too, man. Thanks. Some would say Lost Galaxy. Whoa, I don't know who says that. It's certainly darker. Sorry. Next appearance we see of Andros is in Forever Red.
Oh yeah.
And I'm only mentioning other seasons just because it has to do with In Space. But it's cool to see him and Tommy because I remember I asked my friend who's like a huge Power Rangers fan. I was like, "Is Andros better than Tommy?" He looked at me like I was crazy, but I thought Andros was up there as a Red Ranger. But it's funny how
Andrews is cool.
they used the Astro Megaship again. He's like Astro Megaship 2.0, faster than the first, and all this stuff. But yeah, that's In Space. So I got to ask you though, would you really consider this the best season ever?
The best season? I mean, I don't know. Probably not.
Whoa.
I haven't seen all of them. I mean, like, I'm sure there are better. I don't know. I'm sure there are better seasons, especially if you like count like Sentai stuff for sure. But like, I would say Power Rangers in Space is like probably the most. It's probably the most important season, aside from like the first season as like a cultural impact. But like, In Space is probably the best season in terms of what it did for the entire structure of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if it weren't for In Space, then we would just be having like weird random episodes. Like none of the episodes would connect to each other unless there was like a two-parter where an evil ranger, beats people up before a candle burns out or something. I don't know.
The green candle, yeah. And like Goldar's dueling with him or something like that.
Jeez, dude.
Well, if it wasn't for this season, we saw what happened. We'd get these crappy Disney ones. I'm just kidding, Caps. I'm just kidding. This was really fun. More Ranger rewinds would be cool. You know what? I might do RPM if you were down to do that, Cap. And like, I would give it a shot.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, I mean, we just spent an hour, man. You say you don't think it's definitely up there, but you don't consider the best.
Oh, I mean, like, so objective for me, I think it's the best for me personally. But like objectively speaking, I don't know because like I haven't seen other ones. Like my favorite like Toku season of all time is probably like Gokaiger, but which was I think Mega Force here. I don't know what it was called here. But like, yeah, dude, In Space rules. Like, I love In Space.
Sadly, Spawn forgot all about lessons from In Space and just did MMPRV skins.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me again. Thanks for everyone that joined tonight. Any last words on In Space before we peace out? About In Space?
About In Space? I mean, I don't know. No. I mean, I don't know. You were so shocked when I said, "Do I think?" So, like, of course, In Space is the greatest season of all time.
There we go. There's the soundbite. I was just messing with you. I only say that because like I watched everything during the Zordon era except for like Turbo was in and out. I watched some of Lost Galaxy. Then I watched some of Lightspeed just to see how it connects. But I think the thing that drew me away was like it just seemed like it's like a reset every season, which makes sense. Just have a new team, new characters, new suits is a nice way of redoing everything again. I just kind of like that consistency that In Space had.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's like the key thing to take away from it. Like In Space was so good because everything essentially mattered. Everything that happened in the show mattered moving forward in the show, and I think that's why it was so great. Like
yeah,
stuff that happened at the beginning of the season were just like little breadcrumbs for bigger reveals in a later part of the season, and then actions characters took became motivations for their further actions later on in the season. It was really cool. It was it was the it was the most like thought out season up till that point. Absolutely.
yeah. I agree. We'll leave it at that. Ketless says we don't speak on the Power Ranger version of Gokai. um, Thanks for joining me. And I mean, I'll say this because, like, nobody knows me, but where can people find you at? Because everyone knows you. I think everyone here knows you. But if
Oh,
anyone
that's fine.
catches a replay, where can everyone find you at?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at Pancheezey, and then on YouTube at Pancheezey. That's
Who would
it.
have thought? Does your handle Pancheezey on YouTube, or did anyone else take that?
No, yeah, that's me. I
Okay,
I made this handle like forever ago.
somebody took POC photos, so I just put real POC
What?
photos. Oh man. One day I'll have to explain the origin of that name, but
Well, why not now? Let's go. I'll
I-
explain mine too.
okay. RPM watch on the Discord. I'll watch that with you guys if you do that. I'll
Oh,
watch
let's go.
RPM. Oh well, POC photo. So basically, I studied photography in college, and I was trying to start like a photography project brand name. Like, what am I gonna think of? My first name, for those of you who don't know, is Pacifico. And so I was like, all right, Pacifico Photos, Pacifico Photography. I was like, what if I just shortened it? Originally, I was gonna do a stupid one called Fico Photos, FICO. I was like,
Whoa.
it sounds like fecal photos, so I'm
It
not gonna do
really
that.
is close to fecal. That is the first thing I thought of.
So I was like, okay, let me just do pack photos. And since then, I've had pack photos since 2008. So like, if you
Nice.
find any old Flickr photos of me at pack photos, like that's me, or old MySpace. I don't know if it's still around. Like I think it might have gotten deleted. And then and then when I got back into like YouTube and all that stuff, I was like, well, I just keep using pack photos. Why not? And then that's where I am now. Pack
Smart.
photos. Like, so if you Google pack photos, I think a bunch of photography stuff's going to come up, but like my old Wix page, and like I said,
Whoa,
my old Flickr,
Wix. Powered by Wix, baby.
yeah, and like my old Flickr stuff. But now it's just like, yeah, just I might as well just go by that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So,
I was sitting in a mall parking lot with this girl I had a crush on, and we we were thinking of like fake MC names, and this was like in 2000. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Maybe like 2006 or 2007. And so like everything was like easy or like
oh, Young
Jizzle
Jeezy, yeah.
or what, yeah, everything was that. So like her name was we'll not go into her name. But but she was like
A
she was like
live
my
doc
name's
song.
this. Yeah, my name's this and you're Pancheezey. How about that? And I was like, "Oh, cool, that's sick." And like it just stuck over the years. Like eventually like we became friends and whatever. But like I was like Pancheezey is a cool name. So we'll go with that.
All right. Damn. The legend of Pancheezey is revealed.
There it is. As anticlimactic as it ever could have been.
Oh man. Well, thank you again, Pancho, for joining me, brother.
Yeah,
Salamat.
of course.
And thanks to everyone that joined through as well. um, Again, we'll probably have to do this again. I'll definitely be down for this RPM watch. All
Let's
right.
go.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks again for joining. Peace.
Peace, guys.